1 year later. Once, Dragon fought man in a war called the Scouring. Mankind vanquished the dragons thanks to the efforts of 8 heroes. These 8 mighty generals brought peace to Eliwood. The continent was divided into nations, and the people enjoyed an easy prosperity. The hero Hartmut settled in the east and founded Bern, famed for its military might. Saint Elamine moved west, and her sacred name flourished among the artisans of Etruria. The horseman Hanan's legacy lived on with the nomads of his beloved plains of Sakai. The birthplace of the knight Berrigan is now home to the renowned knights of Ilia. The berserker Durban's final glory was to create a warriors' clan in the Western Isles. The Arc Sage Athos is said to have retired to the barren wasteland of Nabata. The heirs of the champion Roland themselves became the lords of the Lycian League. Eliwood has enjoyed a peace that spans 980 years. How much longer can this peace stand before its foundations begin to crumble? Deep within the Lycian League lies Faerie, a land that has known no conflict for many generations, but which now finds itself touched by a shadow of unease. Its beloved and benevolent ruler, Lord Elbert, has mysteriously vanished, as have a number of his sworn men, loyal knights who serve at his side. A month has passed without word from the Marquis. Rumors of his death abound. However, the Marquis' son believes his father lives, and he has vowed to find him. Marquis Faerie's son, Eliwood, a red-haired youth who will one day become the finest knight in all of Lycia. His long journey begins here. Chapter 11. Taking Leave. Lord Eliwood, we leave on your word. I see. Thank you, Marcus. Mother, it's time for us to go. Eliwood, promise that you will return to me safely. I'm worried about your father, but if anything were to happen to you, my heart could not bear that sorrow. I know, Mother. Please do not worry. Father is alive. I know it. I vow that I will find him and return him to your side. I have your word then. Yes, of course. Isadora, I entrust my mother to you in my absence. Yes, my lord, I will guard over her well. Mother, I will return. Rest easy. Well, Marcus, it looks like it's just the two of us. Not so, my lord. My man Lowen will be traveling with us. Lowen? That's reassuring. I sent him ahead to the village. He hopes to seek out a few able men who are skilled at arms. Normally, I wouldn't venture forth without a larger company, but I bow to your will on this matter, Lord Eliwood. I'm sorry, Marcus, but I would rather not deprive my mother of even a single guard. The best knights in the realm disappeared with my father. If anything were to happen to my mother while I'm gone, I understand, my lord. Humph. What's keeping Lowen? We've all heard that the Knights of Faerie have vanished, right? Well, your misfortune is my good luck. I have an announcement to make. As of now, this village is mine. Grozny? I think that's a crazy name. Grozny is your new liege. Now, bring every last piece of gold, down to the smallest fleck. Lord Eliwood, Commander Marcus, Lowen, calm yourself. A knight must be in control at all times. The village is under attack. It's bandits. What? Bandits? Here? Are you sure, Lowen? This girl has more details. My Lord Eliwood? I'm the daughter of the village magistrate. My name's Rebecca. The bandits came without warning. They're stealing everything. I beg you, please help us. I see. Marcus, Lowen, we must aid the village. Yes, my lord. Rebecca, stay here and keep out of sight. If it pleases you, my lord, I would rather fight. I hunt almost every day, and I have some skill with a bow. Is that so? Very well, but be careful. Yes, my lord. Lord Eliwood, one more thing. There is another in the village who has offered to help. A traveling tactician who was staying at the inn. I wonder who that might be. A tactician? Yes, my lord. This is Eris. Ew, what do you know? It's me. Eris! Do you know this person, my lord? Yes, I met Eris during the trouble in Salem last year. A fantastic military advisor, if memory serves. If not for Eris, the Marquis of Salem and his granddaughter, Lynn, might not have survived Lundgren's uprising. What brings you to Fairey, my friend? Ha, still traveling about, honing your skills? Of course, a worthy pursuit. Let's give thanks to Providence for our chance reunion. We have need of your aid. Please, lend us your skill. Will do, Eliwood. Will do. Welcome to Chapter 11, the very first chapter of Eliwood's story. New chapter, or a new chapter of the story in another light, comes with new characters. To start off, we have our new lord, Eliwood, where he starts at level 1, just like Lynn started in Lynn mode. With different thing is he starts with the rapier, and these are his starting stats. As you can see, there's definitely nothing to write home about, right? He is a level 1 lord, so it's just a level 1 base unit. He hasn't grown at all, so you can see here that he also has kind of a similar setup to Lynn. Not as low strength, I think. More middling strength, but you can see that that's 0 res, right? And 7 speed is not particularly good. I think that's one of the edges that Lynn will have over Eliwood, is that speed growth. But you know, as a starting unit, you can't expect him to be particularly strong to start off with. Well, most starting units aren't going to be particularly strong to start off with, except for units like Marcus. Marcus is your pre-promote. Starting as a level 1 paladin, his stats far eclipse any of the other base units that you will be getting at this phase of the game. You're talking 15 strength, 10 defense, 11 speed, 31 HP, with pretty solid defenses as well. Marcus is, without question, the strongest unit in the army at this moment, and you get him right from the start. He's got excellent weapon ranks, double A's in sword and lances, and B in axes. And he comes with steel weapons, which are quite strong. We didn't in Lindwell, right? We didn't have access to any of these. And then we have Lowen, our second cavalier or horse unit, our baseline cavalier to start off Eliwood's mode. His stats are, definitely a lot more similar, or more in line with Eliwood's level of strength, coming as a level 2 cavalier. He's got better strength though, same speed, actually a bit bit more defensive, right? As you can see here. It also has very low res, so you know, eventually when we get Kenton Sane back, there's definitely comparisons to be made there. But yeah, definitely going to be a useful unit. Once again, he has a horse that is always a very most of the time is quite a good thing to have. 7 movement makes him a much more flexible unit than others. And finally, we have Rebecca. Oh boy, Rebecca. She is your early game starting archer. With, I mean, really bad bases, right? 4 in strength is not good. She's got less speed than even Eliwood, and these defenses are pretty paltry. Debo's, yeah, at base, Rebecca is not going to be a particularly impressive unit. Fully trained, she might also not be a particularly impressive unit. Archers are not particularly amazing. Archers being an archer is not a particularly amazing class to be locked into, for the lack of one range to counter, and the fact, which makes them more of a player phase unit, and especially with Rebecca's low bases, it's going to be pretty difficult to get her going if you do want to use her. Not that she can't be used. Basically any unit in this game can be used if you so desire to, you know, acceptable effectiveness at minimum, depending on how lucky you get with stat growths, of course. And I know Rebecca gets a particular cult following. There are some pretty die-hard Rebecca fans, from my understanding. But... Alright, then let's get this party started. Alright. Okay, so let's take a look at what we can do here. Yes, okay. So Eliwood's starting out with a rapier. Very good weapon. For only 40 uses though, right? So we do want to be careful and try and conserve uses of this thing. Because if you don't keep an eye on your usages of the rapier, you can break this thing quite quickly. Alright, so here we go. We've got the enemy layout here. We've got some archers and a lot of axe units. Bandits, of course. Along with our boss here, Grozny. Brigand, with honestly pretty comparable stats to the rest of our party, besides Marcus. And then the rest of these enemies are not anything particular to write home about. We just want to keep an eye out on the archers, because they can attack at distance. Okay, I am very excited to get Eliwood mode started. It's a whole new phase of this game, and it's where you really start getting into the real heart of it. Alright, so Eliwood over here does 10 damage with the rapier. 12% crit chance, that's cool, but if we want to give him the kill, we can attack with Lowen, who also does 10 damage with weapon triangle advantage. You can attack with Marcus. Marcus will just kill because he is that strong. But Marcus is one of those units, right? He's in the world of Fire Emblem archetypes, he's your Jagan, right? The really strong early game pre-promote. That in some games falls off because of lower stat growths, but in a lot of games actually, and including this one, can actually still keep up with your army quite well in terms of level and stat growths. One of the important things to know about pre-promotes is that they do gain experience much slower than the rest of your army. And this is simply because they are pre-promoted. So this is essentially equivalent to a level 20 unit, or something like that. I don't know the exact math behind it, but their experience gain will be much much slower. So if you do have weaker early game units that you want to train up, an important thing is to balance kind of the experience you're giving between these units, because this guy will eat up experience. That said, that does not mean that you should not use it, right? Marcus is going to be one of our best tools at dealing with particularly tough enemies. And in a lot of cases, our only tool at dealing with particularly tough enemies, especially early on when we don't have as many trained up units. So use him when you need him, and focus on whatever investments that you want to be making at the same time, but don't be too afraid. I guess the philosophy I'm going into this with is to not be too afraid of putting him to some good use. Alright, so here's what we're going to do here. I think the general... How much does Rebecca do, by the way? 7 damage. Okay, so that's not particularly helpful. I think we're going to bring Lowen in and attack with the Iron Sword here. One thing to keep in mind, again, is that starting off the game again with a whole new set of units, we do not have a healer. Right, so we will be, once again, as with early Lin mode, relying on vulneraries, which all of our with which Eliwood and Rebecca come with. So we'll need to keep an eye on our HP. The benefits is that we do get things like forts here, which can help heal. But anyways, let's get this kill with Eliwood here. And he crit. Nice. Yeah, that crit chance comes from the rapier there. Good weapon. That was not a necessary crit at all, though. But see, and in this particular case, right, we are not in range of this guy. But we could bring Marcus up and actually get him in range, and then he would attack. It's not the worst idea to do that. Or it's not necessarily the worst idea to do that, especially if you want to play the game a little bit faster. I think in our particular case, I'm going to hold off. Just go ahead and wait. And bring Rebecca up. Yep, this guy's going to advance. I think the archer's going to move forward. Yep. Look who it is! Look who it is! Look, Dorcas, can you believe it? It's just like that knight said. That's Lord Eliwood. So it seems. What's he doing? Hey, he's taking on those bandits. Protecting innocents? That's a right lordly thing to do, isn't it? Right, Dorcas? You talk too much. The lordly needs our help. Right. Leave these mounted weaklings to me. I'm Barcher the Brave. I don't know if that's... Bartree? I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce that. But Barcher. We're just gonna go with Barcher. I have no idea. Alright, cool. Same bandit, I think. So we're probably dealing with the exact same kind of... Oh, this guy's got a little bit more HP, though. So it's gonna take a little more to take him out. 9 damage here. Okay. Yep, so we also get Barter and Dorcas. These are our classic, in terms of Fire Emblem archetypes, the Axe Bros, the starting Axe Bros. As far as I know, I'm pretty sure, I'm not sure of any Axe Bros, at least in these older games, that are particularly good, at least in the ones that Fire Emblem games that I've played. We're familiar with Dorcas. Dorcas actually will be retaining all of his stats from Lin mode if you've used him. If you used him there, I didn't really use him there, so it's pretty much exactly the same as in Lin mode. He does come with an energy ring, so that's a very useful item. But other than Barcher, of course, or Dorcas, we also have Barcher. When compared to Dorcas, he does have higher strength, but he is quite a bit slower. 3 speed versus basic speed, and I'm pretty sure their speed growths aren't going to be particularly good. Barcher's going to have a hard time doubling, and perhaps even have a hard time with getting doubled. So that's some of the concerns you have with the fighters in this game. But you know, once again, they can be good, right? And if you put the effort and resources into them, and maybe get a little bit lucky, these guys can definitely be very strong. Whether I'm personally probably not going to be investing too much into them. As far as axes go, there are certainly good axe classes, especially like I think Berserker, if I'm not mistaken, is quite the strong offensive class. But what, yeah, and having access to hand axes, right, for access to 1-2 range, is definitely good. Even if lower skill and luck stats could, you know, have some problems in terms of lower skill and luck stats, as well as the lower accuracy of axes could get in the way. But yeah, anyways, I won't spend too much more time talking about the axe guys. Let's get some damage in, why don't we? 10 damage. Steel axe, we can do 14. That leaves him with 8. Is that enough for any of you guys to kill? Yes, right? Yes. We might actually need to do that. Alright, let's do that then. We will use Dorcas. Go ahead and smack him. Okay, well, we missed. That's one of the problems with the axes that you'll run into. They're not the most accurate. Let's see here. Eliwood can just kill the archer here quite easily. Can reduce rapier uses if archer can hit. Okay, cool. Nine damage on you. 6 damage on you for 15. Also do 9. This is where I think using Marcus is definitely going to be our best shot at this. Yeah. Okay, here's what we'll do. We can give Rebecca. We can give old Rebecca over here. Little Rebecca, I don't know. We can give Rebecca here a little chip shot. Go ahead and take this kill with Eliwood. I don't actually mind giving Lowen a chip shot here as well. Yeah. We'll give Lowen a chip shot here as well. Good dodge, good dodge. And then Marcus, being as ridiculously strong as he is, will just get the kill here. He would have gotten it no matter what. You can see a demonstration. He only got 4 XP from that kill. So that's a demonstration of that EXP difference. Alright, Lone will get a nice heal here. Keep an eye out on these bandits. We'll be able to attack. Doubly so if I bring Eliwood here. Damage. damage that, although we could attack with the javelin, although probably not the best idea. Yeah. Have a hand axe though. Not the best hit rate. My more primary concern is making sure we don't get. They all do 13 attack on 5 defense. I need to keep an eye on Eliwood. Eliwood does have a pretty low HP stat, all things considered. Lowen actually at level 2 Cavalier with 23 HP. I think that's really not far off from where Sane is, and he's already at like level 10. Or around there, so you can see that Lowen definitely has more tankiness, right, to start off with. It would be very, very easy to just take a kill with Marcus here, but if I can deal with him in another way, I would like to. Going to be perhaps a little rough though. I think what we can do is if we attack with the hand axe here, we can get something. If we can hit. Okay, we got the hit. That's good. Alright, that means I can probably pretty safely bring Eliwood here and take this guy out. He's going to be doing 7. So we will be taking 7 and then 7 for 14 damage from both of these guys. But it is livable, so we can go ahead and take you out. Becca, we will bring up to visit the village. Is Lord Albert well? We've heard nothing but foul rumors hereabouts. All the Fairy is worried for his well-being. We hear tell that Lord Eliwood is going to find the Marquis. This dragon shield is our village treasure. It boosts the defenses of the one who uses it. Take it, please, and may it see you and Lord Albert home safely. Dragon shield, also a very useful item. Just like the energy ring, it boosts a stat by 2 points. This time, defense. So the energy ring Dorcas is carrying, and with the dragon shield, are both definitely very useful items. I'm not super sure who I want to use those on right now. A unit like Eliwood would certainly appreciate, at the very least, the energy ring. Because the strength is quite low at the moment. But long term, there are probably better investment choices. We will have to see. I'll probably holding on to those for a little bit longer, just to see if there's maybe any other things that I might want to do with it. Okay, we'll set Lowen up on this forest here. Bring Dorcas along. Marcus along as well. You are gonna come and attack Eliwood. You do hit the 41%. Okay. There's Eliwood's first level. Okay, not a very good one. But we are pretty accustomed to our lords not getting particularly good levels. Note Lin, right, from Lin Mode, was in a very similar situation. Right. Not particularly scared of these guys. So we will just... Oh, there's a shop here. Let's see what they have. Vulneraries. Okay. Without a healer, those could definitely serve some use. I'll have to see if they're really necessary, but... Alright, we can bring Eliwood here and take this kill. And then same for Lowen. Yes. Becca, come on your way. We will go ahead and visit these villages here. There's a young traveler been staying with the magistrate. Been staying in the village for a few days now. I know, you're thinking it's just another good-for-nothing courtier looking for a handout. But there's something more to this one. Those eyes, they miss nothing. Got a mission that one has. I'm not quite sure who that guy's talking about. You've got some skill with weapons, but do you understand weapon levels? You've got some skill with weapons, but do you understand weapon levels? The more you use a weapon, the more skills you become. Still, you can only reach the highest level with a single weapon. But to look at you, I think it'll be a while before that happens. It will be a while before that happens, that is correct. Unless it's Marcus, which is why you want to be a little careful. You can only get S rank in one of these classes. For Marcus, I would probably... Lances is probably the best one, just because he already has 8 Lances. Getting S and Axes, I mean, you'll be wanting him to use Axes a lot. Yeah, we'll see. Anyways, I don't really want Marcus to be baiting any of these guys out yet, so once again, we'll just advance Marcus to kind of wherever. Do we need vulneraries? We have a number. I don't know when we're going to get a healer. I don't remember by which chapter we will get a healer. It is potentially... I think we could probably get by without too many vulneraries. It doesn't hurt to buy some, though. Okay, let me think about the units that I'm going to be putting in danger for the most part. Yeah, it might do to get at least one set of vulneraries. Maybe even 2, depending on the units, but... Yeah, no, we will just roll with 1. I think we'll just roll with 1. Guy has 5 move. 1, 2. Yeah, okay, he's gonna deal with him up here. Not a concern. Eliwood might actually want to use one of these vulneraries already. I think we lure out with Lowen. Probably we will do this. We'll lure them out with Lowen with the javelin. Is that archer's gonna come in? We're gonna have a hit problem probably against, yeah, the axe guy because of weapon triangle disadvantage. 7 damage isn't nothing to slot. Definitely something to be careful about, though. There's probably a way to lure you out before the archer, though. Not quite sure if he's gonna go for Eliwood or Lowen. I guess we can try it out, right? If you also have 13 attack, yeah, so we'll take another hit. Eliwood's definitely gonna be kind of low after this, but should be fine. see how this goes. Down. Okay, do land the counter hit. Okay, he does go for Eliwood. Okay, that is exactly what we want to see. Good dodge, good dodge. The other guy is just not advancing yet. Okay. So once again, Eliwood can take a kill here with the useless pointless crit, but it's cool, it's cool. Lowen can also get this one. Does that put him in range of you? Yeah, it would, but that's fine. See if we can get Lowen a level as well. Problems there. I'm not really worried about the Axe Bros here. In fact, yeah, well, I'm not super concerned about our items or stat boosters yet either. He's not gonna do enough to kill. Oh, get a level though. Okay, good stats, good stats. Strength and speed are always appreciated. In fact, I think he's already faster than Zane. I remember Zane had like around this much speed by the end of Lin mode. Alright, oh, we do 11, okay. 8 times 2 damage, we take 7 in return. Okay, I don't mind actually doing that. And there's the 1% chance crit, okay. We will actually put Lowen down here. Give Eliwood this kill. That's not. You don't. Yeah. Oh, doesn't kill. But no matter. That's fine. We can just get a chip shot with Rebecca. Set up the kill for Eliwood. Oh man. Our lords have been really struggling, huh? This does not bode well. This does not bode well. What is this? A pack of children coming to play? You think you can challenge me? What? Faria Knights? But that's impossible! Ow. Pretty good, pretty good. Lowen might just be able to get the kill here. I'm gonna give it to Eliwood. Eliwood's first 2 levels have been pretty bad. Let's see, that's 12 attack on 4 defense. For 8 damage with weapon triangle advantage means I think we do get the kill here. The alternative is actually to give the kill to Marcus. And one of the interesting things about boss level ups is that they don't get the same experience restrictions aspect. You can get a lot of experience on Marcus by letting him kill bosses. In this particular instance, though, we don't really need him to do that, so it's actually pretty easy, I think, just to bring Eliwood in. 7 damage. Okay, that's a little bit more than I was anticipating. Let's see if Rebecca can get a shot in. Okay, cool, we're good. I don't like a 95% hit rate, so what we're actually gonna do is just wait here. And take the kill. Ugh, I thought my luck was finally turning around. That should just be another level. Okay, that makes up for it. That's a lot better. Alright, and now we just seize. Cool. That wraps it up. Pretty quick and simple first chapter here. You would be Lord Eliwood, yes? Our deepest thanks for coming to the aid of our fair village. Think nothing of it. It's a lord's duty to protect the citizenry. Would that were true, my lord. The good folk of Laos know no such protection. Their Marquis, Lord Darin, is too busy preparing for war. He ignores all complaints of bandits and thieves. Preparing for war? Are you sure? I would not lie, my lord. My brother lived in Laos until a few days ago. His home was torched, and he had no choice but to flee here. According to him, Laos could go to war any day now. It's all the people of Laos are talking about. Lord Eliwood, if this is true, the situation is a grave one. If Marquis Laos is ready for war, his target is most likely another Lycian territory. Perhaps this is connected to Lord Elbert's disappearance. My father and Marquis Laos. It seems a tenuous connection, but it's as good a start as any. Let us travel to Laos. We must learn more. Thank you for your guidance, Eris. Where are you bound for next? If you have no destination in mind, perhaps you could travel with us. Ours is a small group with a single purpose, to find my father. I do not know where our road will lead, but we would be stronger with you in our company. You will travel with us. Splendid. Thank you. I pray we give you no cause to regret your decision. Becca, where do you think you're going, young lady? Father, I intend to accompany Lord Eliwood. Don't be ridiculous, girl. Lord Eliwood is not going on a picnic. He's riding into danger. I know that, Father. That's why I want to go. We owe him our lives, and I want to repay him. My bow may not be all that much, but I know I can be of service. And Father, I may meet up with my brother somewhere. You're the magistrate. You have responsibilities. This is all I can offer. I need to do this. Please, Father, let me go. Dear me, you're just as stubborn as your mother was. I'm sorry, Father. You must bow to Lord Eliwood's wishes on this matter. If he consents, you may go. Thank you, Father. Lord Albert has always been kind to us. Follow his son with a true heart, Rebecca. Serve Lord Eliwood well, as I have served his father. I will, Father. All right, and that is chapter 11 and the start of a new journey.